So it's time to start. Good morning to everybody who has joined today's Facebook Live. Great, good guys. If you have your sketch ready, that will help you a lot and that will be great to do today's class. Today, this is a free Facebook Live session that we do every Friday at 11 o'clock. And we try to do different topics every week. We have done a gold foil, we have done a pichwai, we have done a knife painting, we have done a clay mural earlier, and today we are doing a watercolor workshop, which is a free session. We have released, or we do release, the class details, material details, sketch and image, everything before class every week, so that you are ready on Friday for the session that is happening right now. All the videos of our past sessions are also available on our YouTube channel, which is called Art Canvas Design Studio. Those are full-length videos of the entire live, which you can check out if you haven't, if you are not going to work with us today, or if you plan to do it later. So we can go ahead and start. I have a paint set here. This is some Korean brand paint set. It's nothing very special. It just looks like that. You can use any cake colors. You can use Camlin. You can use any other Brustro. You can use whatever you like. Doesn't matter. As long as you have shades of pink in it, and if you have shades of green in it, the name everywhere is Art Canvas Design Studio. So, and you have the logo as well. So if you just search on all social media channels, you will find us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and our website. Everything is called Art Canvas Design Studio. So you can just search on YouTube by our name, and you will find our channel there as well. And which flower is this? It's a rose, of course. So back to the paints that I was mentioning. As long as you have shades of pink and you have shades of green, you should be all right. You can use any paint set, doesn't matter. You can use tube watercolors, doesn't matter. Anything is fine. And I have a few brushes here. There are the brushes of many sizes that I have here. Although I am not going to use all of them. I have only two specific ones here, which are both round brushes. This must be a number 4 or 5, I think. Let me use this one. This is a number 6 actually. So there is a number 6 and there is a size 1, I think, or 0 brush. These are the only two brushes that I am going to use for my work today. And I have a glass of water, tissues, and the paint set, out of which I will require the pink shades mainly, pink and reds, to get the darker tones a little red shade, and to get the lighter pink tones the lighter pink shade. You can also change the color of the flower if you'd like. It's completely up to you. So okay. So let's go ahead and start. Good morning to everybody who has just joined. Happy to have you all here. And if you have any questions, you can type it out in the chat. I will try to answer while I'm working. Try to answer your questions if possible. My name is Akanksha and I run Art Canvas Design Studio with my partner. Her name is Seema. Some sessions are taken by her, some are taken by me. Today's session I will be taking, and we are going to do this watercolor composition today. Good morning, Khanum. So let's go ahead and start. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in all, drop of water in all the shades that I would like to use, so that the watercolor is a little soft for my use. Khanum, this is a watercolor workshop. So of course we are using watercolors and not acrylics. Okay, so let me start with the first petal being this one. This is a large petal, so it will be easier for everybody to just get a feel of the material first. So let's try doing the big petal first. Now, watercolors work very differently compared to acrylic paints. Here you'll use a lot of water and it's done on paper. So I'm going to apply lots of water in the space where I want to work first. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of a pink tone that I'd like to use and apply it here where the shade is darkest. Now the water helps the paint to move everywhere where the water is applied on the base. So we don't have to use it in sharp movements like the acrylic paints. We just have to apply the paint a little bit and let the water content do the rest. They are called watercolors for a reason. Water is the medium that controls the movement and the paint shades in these compositions. This is a 300 GSM watercolor sheet. You should use 300 or higher. The thicker the sheet, the better the holding capacity it has of water. So the paper will not get spoiled. You should not use a very thin sheet because it will tear eventually because it will not be able to hold so much of water in it. I can't keep everything in the screen. I have a limited screen space. So please use the pink shades from your palette that you have. You're welcome, Shruti. 300 GSM is the ideal or higher than that. I'm going to use the tip of the brush to get a little darker tones here. And with the help of water, just diffuse. So Deepak, that is a good question. I personally don't like to keep switching brushes. So you will see me working with just one brush most of the times. I would not even switch to the zero brush unless it's absolutely necessary. But everybody has different styles of working and they are comfortable with different tools. So if you are uncomfortable with using a single brush, it's fine to use multiple brushes, but I find it most convenient to use just one brush. I wash it often and use the same brush for all of my work mostly. So it's a personal choice, but I prefer doing it this way. So same like I did the first petal, I have applied a little bit of water at the bottom and I'm just going to add the color where the shades are little dark. Now remember that we will not get such a high contrast immediately. We have to work in layers. So I'm going to let this much darkness be, this much of the dark shade be there right now. And if I feel like it needs a higher contrast after it dries, only then we will go back to the shades where we want to the spaces where we want a higher contrast and we will add more paint there.
We are doing a wet on wet technique where you spread water on the surface and then you work with the paints that you want to use.
There is a little corner here which is super dark. So I'm going to use a pinkish red to darken that. Good morning and hello to everybody who has just joined. We are doing a Facebook Live today to do a watercolor quick rose in a watercolor composition. It's a fairly simple composition to try, so we try to do something easy so that everybody is able to follow.
So generally for watercolor, Deepak, we use round brushes. For acrylic, it is totally a personal choice, but usually flat brushes work better. And oil brushes are both, you can use both types. And yes, they should be kept separately. But round brushes are used in all the three, depending on what picture you're painting.
So wherever there is a dark shade, I just apply a little bit of my dark paint there and diffuse it into the water. Don't go everywhere. Where you want it to be very light, don't move your brush in those sections, otherwise that will also become pink. We want the shades to have a contrast and show properly. So for example, this section of the rose is almost totally white, so I'm not going to put any paint here in this section. I'm going to leave it like that.
In very simple terms, you cannot put white onto a picture like we do in acrylic, so we have to save the whites.
So because this petal is folding onto the front side, the part which falls below the fold is dark and the part of upper side of the fold is all light. So we darken the lower side of the fold and keep the upper side totally light or white. Now moving on to some of the outer petals here. Let's do those. They are all light. So little bit of water. And then little bit of the paint. Hi Pauline, thank you. Thank you so much. The video will be available on our YouTube and on our Facebook posted later also. So go ahead. Uh, we love dogs. Go ahead with your uh, plans and you can watch the video later also if you'd like. But loved reading your comment. And I hope to see you next Friday for the whole session, maybe. Nitika, it was posted 2 days back. And we have a packed schedule the whole week, so sometimes it's difficult for us to pre announce things. although we try to announce it a day, 2 days prior at least. Sometimes if you feel too much color, you can just dab it with a tissue to reduce the shade. There's a tiny corner here which needs to be dark.
Hi to everyone who has just joined us.
This is a watercolor workshop, so it's watercolor on paper. All the shades at the back are, sorry about that. All the shades, hi Mathimala, good morning. All the shades on the back petals are very light, so I'm just going to give it like a very light wash of the pink and not add too much color at all. Just a very faint and very dilute pink at the back. This is a 300 GSM watercolor paper. It's mentioned in the class details that were posted in the poster. It's written in that as well.
Thanks, Prachi. The beauty of watercolor is to keep the colors transparent. That you get only by using less paint at a time and more of water, unlike acrylic.
And you can always add more color wherever you need it. You should not initially have too much paint anywhere. Now I've added a little water on the entire this outer side, and I'm just going to add a very little bit of the pink on the entire edge near the sorry about that. Good morning to all those who have just joined. This is a free Facebook live we do every Friday for various techniques that we teach. This is a watercolor session today, and we are painting this pretty rose. Okay, now let's do some of the other petals here. Let's do the center. So this time I'm not going to apply water at the bottom because I want the color to be very intense. So I'm going to simply put a very dark shade of the pink and red directly. And then use a tiny bit of water if I want to dilute it anywhere. The brushes are, what is this? It's called fine art. We don't use any special brushes. We mostly use the brushes that we get easily, because with use all brushes get spoiled eventually. It's just easier to have or to buy new ones whenever you need them. So doing this lower side petal, all of it is quite dark. We may have to go over it with a second layer as well to darken it further, as it is very dark. Especially here where the two petals are overlapping each other, there it's pretty dark. This entire edge, and we may need to darken it further than this also. Good morning and welcome to everybody who has just joined the Facebook Live. My name is Akanksha and I run Art Canvas Design Studio with my partner. Her name is Seema. And we are a mother-daughter who run this studio since the past 8 years or more, little more than that actually. And we are happy to have everybody today. We do these sessions every Friday. There are many other paid sessions that we do through the week as well for different compositions on different topics. My voice is too low. Okay. I'll try to speak louder. Now, I'm going to do this back one here. Going to, this petal is quite dark and then the one next to it immediately is quite light, so we don't have to. The trick in doing petals and folds is always to have a sharp contrast between two sections so that it shows properly. So you will always notice that next to a light section is a very dark section. This is my color set that I'm using. You can use any, it doesn't matter. And you can use any pink shade that you like. Just maintain the dark and light tones in your work, and that's the only thing that is important. You can even change the colors if you want. I'm doing a pink one, but you can use any other shades that you like as well. Any are okay. Apurva, Purva, doesn't matter. Camlin is okay. Brustro is okay. Doesn't matter. Yes, for this particular sketch they will be visible. However, you can lighten it if you want. You can do a light sketch. We have to announce the sketch also, and if we make it too light then you will not be able to keep it ready before the class. So we make it a little dark so it's visible in the session, but you should ideally have it much lighter than this so that it's not visible as much. Now this particular fold is totally white. Don't want any colors there? No outlines done? Not really. It's not needed. The beauty of this paint is to have to build the sharpness in between sections with the paint itself and not do outlines. However, depending on what you are trying to paint or what effect you are trying to bring out, you can choose to change that rule. There is no fixed rule like that. But the beauty of this paint is in its abstract form. So these petals in the front are quite light again, so we don't do too much. Uh, White not required. No, I never use white. In this is not acrylic paint, so you are supposed to save your whites. You are not supposed to add whites anywhere because it doesn't work like that. Where you want the shades to be light or white, you have to leave those sections without paint. That's how you will get the light tones. Now I'm going to add a little bit of contrast everywhere where I want to build a little more. So I'm going to add little dark shade here. I'm going to add a little of the color here. I'm going to add some shades here also to make it darker. You can use a little bit of a dark brown also now. Along with the pink and the red to get a even darker tone. But not too much brown, otherwise the shade of the composition will change. So now we are working on a second layer to increase the contrast everywhere. Thank you, Supriya. Going to work on building a little more contrast in a few places. Also, you can do this second layering only after the first layer has dried, so don't do it immediately after you do your first coat. Otherwise, it will all blend into each other and not give you the look that you want.
Thanks, Nitika.
So we build on the contrasts slowly in extreme corners, especially. So here, for example, where the petal overlaps, then the absolute center where it's quite dark.
Hi to everyone who's just joined us. If you have any questions, please type it out in the comments. We'd be happy to answer.
Working on building some contrasts in some places where there is a overlap or a corner that gets created. All of the beauty of this paint is in building the layers as per your look or as per the view or as per the final look that you want to create. Nothing happens immediately. You have to keep working on it to build what you want. Thanks, guys. Happy to read your comments and happy to paint with you all every Friday. We do these free sessions every Friday for various topics. And today's topic is watercolor and trying to build this pretty rose with that, with watercolors. Another trick to hide your pencil lines is to paint with the dark shade a little bit over it so that it kind of gets hidden on its own. But you can't do that where in the lighter sections like at the top. So generally you should keep your sketch light only. That will help the most. But our sketches are dark so that you are able to see what we are painting and where we are painting. This is a watercolor sheet, yes. It's a 300 GSM watercolor sheet which is supposed to be used. That's the ideal to use for this kind of work. That or higher than 300. So I think the rose looks quite okay, and we can continue on to other parts of this composition now. Hi and good morning to those who have just joined. Happy to have everybody in the session today.
Thanks, Prachi.
This is a free Facebook Live. Okay, so we can go ahead to the greens now. Going to use a mix of multiple greens. This is a 300 GSM watercolor sheet that we are using. Now I have a lot many greens here. I'm just going to pick some random ones. More like an olive green shade would be nice, like a pale dark green, and then some yellow for the brighter green, and some dark shade for the darker portion of the green. So just going to pick some random greens from my palette. You can use the greens that you have, and in addition to that you can use a little bit of an orange or a brown or burnt sienna kind of a shade to get the effects that you need. Any brand of watercolor is fine, no such specific requirement. Now let's do this little guy here first. No need to put water there as it's a solid, pretty much a solid dark tone.
Usually, if it's a dark piece of a dark portion, then we do not spread water at the base. We directly use the color with a little water. Any brand of watercolor is good. Camel is good.
Prostro is good. This is some Korean set which we got on Amazon. You can buy this also. It's a set of 42 shades. Tubes are okay, cake colors are okay. Doesn't matter.
But cakes are, they work well as per me.
Yeah, better than
Tubes.
the tubes. Tubes are also nice, but they are difficult to control because sometimes when you want a lighter shade, you might end up making it too dark because they are much more rich in tone. Now for this little leaf here, I have added a little bit water only in the center, and I'm going to darken the outer tip, which is quite dark green. Then there is a little lighter shade, so little yellowish green maybe. And then there is a little reddish tone. So going to use a little reddish tone here with the green. Oops, too dark.
A quick tip, if at any place if you feel that there's too much paint, you can just dab the paint off with a little bit of tissue paper.
And don't let drops of water fall anywhere on your sheet, it will leave a mark. So green on the outside, little yellow on the middle section, and then a reddish tone at the bottom. Back to a little darker green here, and no water at the base. We can just directly paint it because it's quite dark. For the stem, I'm going to use water again and just put shades of green and shades of red. Deepak, link for the paints you want? Sure, I will post it. Hi and morning to everybody who has just joined. Now going to do the lighter leaf. Let's do this one. Lots of water first. It's very light. So going to just apply a little bit and let it spread in the water that I have applied at the base. Here it's much darker. Also a little bit of dark tones on this edge of the composition. There is one super light leaf at the back. And then there is a dark leaf in the front. So let's do that. We'll apply a little water first. And take some dark paint, dark green. And apply it on the outer side of this leaf. Going to let it bleed into the other rest of the leaf. Again, we will add a little bit of the darker tone in the second layer to darken it further. For now, we stop at this stage. Moving on to this little guy here.
Hi and welcome to whosoever's joined in just now.
Hello, good morning. This is a free Facebook live session which we do every Friday on various topics. Thank you, Sunita. Do this outer leaf first and just let the shades blend into the rest of it. It's quite light, so we don't want to put too much paint here.
Thanks, Piyush.
Just going to let the water blend these shades and not add more. Big one. and quite dark again on the at the edges.
Our water already has some green tones.
Yeah, the brush already has, but that's okay because anyway we are going to make it green. Slight orangish green on this edge. And very dark green on the other.
Thanks, Deepak. Thanks, Sushma. Thank you all for your appreciation.
Going to add a little yellow tones. Going to let it all blend.
Yes, Deepak, this is wet on wet technique.
And I'm just going to let it dry and fall in place itself. Yes, it this live will be shared after the live is over to our Facebook, and the entire video will also be posted on our Facebook or sorry, on our YouTube channel, which also you can check if you want. The name is the same, it's called Art Canvas Design Studio. Yes, it will be posted to Facebook and YouTube both. In case you missed doing it with us here, you can
Definitely catch it later.
check it out. Yeah, you can check it out on those on the YouTube or on our Facebook channel, and then do it from there. Do share the output with us. We'll be happy to see your work.
Thanks, Karuna.
Okay. Just going to do one little last thing. And we are done. The rose is ready. You can always keep continuing little work on it if you feel you still have more contrast to build anywhere.
Usually the tones do get lighter after a while, so if you want to just darken them in the second round, you can do that.
So we are done. I hope everybody enjoyed the class. Hi, for those who just have joined us, we did a watercolor live workshop today. We do one every Friday, 11 o'clock India time. I believe a lot of people from outside have also joined the session. So, next time I will try to post the timing in multiple time zones so that you can plan your time accordingly. And hope everybody had fun today. Also, it will be posted to our Facebook and our YouTube channel, both this video, and we will plan something fun for next week as well. I hope everybody had fun, and it's time to close. Bye for now.